I've been doing lots of healing where I am, and lots of sibling and family relationship stuff coming up. Yeah, just family relationships, but to do with jealousy regarding the relationships and favourites and perceived favourites and whatnot. And it sort of occurred to me that I have never felt like I have picked a favourite child, but having talked about some stuff with someone else and sort of seen it from maybe a different perspective, I can see how some of my children might have perceived that others got way more than what they did for a little sort of effort, you know, and yeah, other kids of my own and in other families too, you know, have kind of sailed through happily having their needs met without really too much effort, because they're louder or quieter, or, you know, for whatever reason they've you know, the parents have really gone, shit, let's go into overdrive so that these kids got everything they need to make life just sail along nicely. Meanwhile, the other, you know, child who's not, you know, expressing their needs is just silently getting missed out, you know, or just there's an expectation if that child's, you know, generally a well-behaved child or even keel kind of kid, and then they flip out, they're, you know, sort of severely reprimanded, whereas a more challenging child really gets away with murder because they, you know, it's an expectation, you know, they just have a way higher threshold that they have to cross before, you know, the punishments become quite severe. And yeah, whereas the well-behaved child sort of hits that straight away because it's you know, that, yeah, it's out of character for them kind of thing. And yeah, I just don't understand myself really how people can sort of give more, like all of their time and energy to one of their children and not the other one. And then that might just be my perception of it, because you know, I can see how especially my two older boys, I haven't really looked at it from the perspective of my younger kids, but I'm pretty sure that's on the cards today. But definitely my older boys, I can see how their lives were very different, even though they lived in the same house with the, you know, the same people. The relationships were really, really different, and I can see how it could be perceived that one sort of got a whole lot more than the other. So I can see how that can be perceived, and that it might be just my perception of how that is. And I think it's important to be honest in your family relationships and be able to talk about that. So you know, and know that the other person's going to be able to hear your viewpoint on it and how you're feeling about it, even if, you know, you can say, well, that's absolutely 100% not at all how I want you to view that, and this is why. I think it just helps everybody to understand and be a bit more honest, and you know, I mean, at the end of the day, why do we have a family? You know, we don't have a family just so that we can all desert each other in hard times, you know, that the family are the ones that you're supposed to, blood's thicker than water, you know. Why do we say all these things? We're the ones that are supposed to stick together and you know, bring other people in, bring other families in, you know, that are all sticking together. You know, who doesn't want to live like that? You know, I mean, we don't have this aspiration in life to say, oh wow, I really, you know, have this great desire to make friends with a whole lot of people that come from broken homes. You know, wouldn't it be fabulous to say, wow, you know, those people, I love the way that they strengthen everything in their lives and they look at it and heal from it and launch themselves forward and they propel everyone forward with them, you know. Like, I mean, maybe that's just my John Lennon ideals, but it's still, you know, what I aspire to be. And I try to attract those kind of people into my life, so that does become my reality, and that it is, you know, what I aspire to be and how I will live my life. And for those people that's not their dream or their goal or their aspiration, well then they'll go off on another path, and our part in each other's journey will be over. So there's no reason to be bothered by that anymore. Everyone that you meet, that you come across, gives you a blessing, a lesson and a blessing, and I always say a lesson is a blessing, and you just get more. Every perspective you get is a gift. It really is. If you can actually openly dissect that, have a look at it, and really take it on board, then you'll see, you just see life from a whole different angle, and it gets better and better each time. And we don't have to, when I say I always get my own message, and it's not exactly the exact word for word message that I get for myself, but it's the underlying element of it. So if I've just been doing some healing work with my mind's gone blank. Parents and stuff like that. What was I talking about that? Just done some healing work. Completely gone out of my mind. No idea. Yeah, anyway, it's probably I don't know what that was. It's going to bug me. It's been happening a lot. I've been getting things, and then just the whole sentence has just gone out of my head, and it's either not my message because I'm channeling for someone else as well, and I'm saying quite random things that are making sense to me, but they're making perfect sense to her. So we're just going with it, and yeah, we're just having a bit of a break in each other's connection at the moment, just to process and get our own messages and tune it over in our little tuning, what I call them, my little washing machine in my head. So we're tuning it over, and then we'll come back together and nut it out this afternoon, and yeah, no doubt heal heaps more stuff and launch forward, and just enjoy the whole process every step of the way. And it's so much more enjoyable when you're doing it with someone who's part of your soul family, and you've got your real family and your soul family, your starseed family, and it's just these families are there for a reason. They're there to teach us, and everybody's got to be on a different level in a different part of the journey, and that's sometimes we have to let people go, and that depends on us, and how willing we are to see things on each other's levels. So all it really takes at the end of the day is an acceptance or a willingness, like a conscious choice to say, yeah, I'm going to try really hard. I don't necessarily agree with anything that you're doing, but I'm going to try really hard to understand where you're coming from and listen to your viewpoint. If you can show me the same respect and do the same thing, and that's really how easy it is. It's just that easy. And your relationship with somebody else is absolutely nobody else's business. Just, it doesn't matter whether you're in the same family, whether you're in the same it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. That connection with that person and you is all that matters, and nobody else's opinion has anything to do with it. We don't own people. We have no ownership over another person. We only have ownership over ourselves. And it doesn't matter if it's your child or your parent. You do not get to choose who has a connection with who but that person. So, and they get to reject connection too. So, you do with your children because you have to guide them. But when that child grows up and is allowed to make their own choices, you have no say in that. Your opinion, shouldn't have any sway on that. And it's unfair to be controlling or manipulating somebody else's connection because of your own feelings and your own jealousy and your own wounding. That's something you have to come to terms with by yourself. And it's only going to hold you back if you try and hold somebody else back on their path.